for Lorain City Schools commencement exercises. I'm Wendy Langinger for Public Information Officer. This is the last in a series of broadcasts we're bringing you live on Channel 36. Right now I'd like to introduce Superintendent John Pavick.
Thank you, Wendy, and good evening. Welcome to George Daniels Stadium. I want to thank all of you for joining us here this evening to celebrate Lorain High School's 106th commencement activity. As you know, graduation is a time of joy, and tonight graduation is a culmination of 13 years of formal education for these young people. The students leaving the Lorain City Schools are leaving well prepared for the future. I want to congratulate all of the graduates and their parents, and I wish them well in the years to come. And now let's turn our attention to the field where the graduation ceremony is about to begin.
eternal God, we thank you that you have blessed us with schools, colleges, and universities that are lively places for sound learning, new discovery, and the pursuit of wisdom. We especially thank you for the blessing of Lorain High School and this graduating class of 1985. Bless us still, we pray, through your presence, as we gather to celebrate the joy of things completed and the hope of things to come. Amen. As we begin these commencement proceedings, I would ask each and every one of you in our vast audience to be aware of the importance of this ceremony. Our graduates and their parents have worked long and hard for many years for this graduation. We would ask each of you to treat this ceremony with the dignity and respect it deserves. Please do not come over the fence onto the track for picture taking. This greatly detracts from the richness of the program. Thank you. This, the 106th annual commencement exercise of Lorain High School, is a proud and joyous moment for the members of the class of 1985, all of us present here this evening, and indeed for the entire city of Lorain.
For graduation is a momentous occasion. It has been an exciting and memorable year for the members of the class of 1985. Seniors, you've been a great class, and we are going to miss you. Through the course of its history, Lorain High School has developed a proud tradition. Speaking for myself and the entire faculty and staff of Lorain High School, I can say that it is a real pleasure to be a part of Lorain High School, to be a part of that proud tradition, to be a part of the greatness that is Lorain High. These young men and young women of the class of 1985 have dedicated themselves and their energies through their years in school to make this event possible. We are living in eventful, challenging times. I charge each and every graduate to help us make this community, this nation, and our world a better place in which to live. We thank you, the parents, relatives, and friends, for joining us in this evening's activities. My personal and special thanks to Mrs. Barbara Evans, our assistant principal, and the teachers and staff of Lorain High School, who have given so freely and so willingly of their time to organize this beautiful commencement program for us. I would now like to introduce platform guests that will be not on the program, and I would ask them to stand as I call their names. Dr. Peter Lohr, who is our Director of Personnel. Dr. Peter Demian, who is our Executive Director of Curriculum and Instruction. Mr. Fred Churchill, our Athletic Director. Mr. Doug Beckler, who is our Business Manager. And last but not least, Mr. Bill Kozusko, he is the Director of Adult Education and Vocational Education. Now it is my pleasure to announce the Service Plaque Award winners on the occasion of this 106th commencement exercise. These young men and young women represent many of their fellow students who have given countless hours of their time to their school. They have worked diligently and with great dedication in their efforts to make Lorain High School the great school that it is. They have accumulated service credits which place them in the top 3% of their class. I shall read their names in ascending order. They will stand to be recognized, but please hold your applause until all names have been announced. Carol Koncheck, Tony Piesheimer, Adam Tietz, Lisa Gleisner, Tammy Killen, Charles Bryant, Linda Weber, and Gerald Laurenti. Give me a moment to get my cards back in order here. Thank you. Now I am pleased to announce the top 5% honor graduates of the class of 1985. These young men and young women have distinguished themselves and brought honor to their families and their school through their scholastic achievement. They have dedicated themselves to scholarship for 4 high school years. Lest we forget, scholastic achievement is really what school is all about. Again, I shall announce their names in ascending order. They will stand to be recognized, and again, please hold your applause until all names have been read. Laurie Manuel, Jack Cook, David Erda, Edward Grosso, Don Raymond, Tammy Killen, Tony Piesheimer, Laurie Henderson, Kim O'Neill, Laurie Fisher, Andrew Strasser, and number 2 in the class, Linda Weber, and leading the class academically in number 1 position, Carol Koncheck. A great big hand for these folks. Thank you. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the Superintendent of the Lorain City Schools, Mr. John W. Pavick. Mr. Pavick.
Thank you, Mr. Balish, and I'm very happy to share this evening with all of you. I'd like to commend all the parents and the members of the community for their support of the public school system that ensures a quality educational experience for all these young people. I'd like to also extend my congratulations to the graduates of Lorain High School for the successful completion of 13 years of education. If you look at this commencement program you have, it says 106th commencement. I think there's some confusion about the word commencement, and perhaps it's proper and right that we clear that up. We know that the root of the word is commence, which means to start or begin, and yet it's apparent that this is a graduation, which marks the conclusion, the successful conclusion, I hasten to add, of your school careers. How is it that an ending can be called a beginning? And the answer is obvious. Tonight is an ending. It's a conclusion of a process that was begun 13 years ago, a process called formal education. Throughout that time, these young people worked and studied and exerted considerable effort for this day, the day that their studies are completed, and they'll receive a certificate attest to that fact. That day has come, and the conclusion of their schooling is at hand. But just as certainly, tonight is also a beginning. Why did they go through 13 years of education? Well, let me suggest that it was not to prepare them to end or conclude a portion of their lives, but rather to begin to prepare them for a new life. This evening I greet all of you as citizens of the world. You do not end your life as a student as much as you begin your life as an adult in an adult world. With this new position you assume tonight go many rights and privileges, it's true, but with it also goes awesome responsibilities and demands. The very fact that you've completed your studies and are part of tonight's audience means that the last 13 years have prepared you to accept these responsibilities and to meet those demands. Certainly, that's the fervent hope of our staff and faculty of Lorain High School. Therefore, take what you've learned and use it. Use it at this commencement. Use it as you begin your new lives as an equal partner in the world. Use it as you meet new challenges. Use it now and throughout your lives, and may it serve you well. Now, I'm honored to introduce 3 of the outstanding students from this graduating class. Each of them will speak on the topic that's printed in your program. The first one is Andrew Strasser, the son of Mr. and Mrs. John Strasser of 1328 New Jersey Avenue. His class rank is number 3. Andrew's been very active in many areas. Athletics, he's 4 years basketball, 2 years track, 1 year of cross country. In club activities, he's been in the AFS, the French Club, where he's treasurer, the Key Club, Senior Advisory Board, National Honor Society President, delegate last summer to Buckeye Boys State, and selected as one of the top 10 seniors of the year. He's also won the Presidential Academic Fitness Award. He's also won the scholarship. He's been a scholarship winner from the local Elks Club. He's received an appointment to West Point, and he's accepted that. Is it any wonder that his classmates at Lorain High School have named him as the senior boy with the most leadership and the senior boy most likely to succeed? Andrew Strasser. The second person that I'm going to introduce is Ann Koncheck. And she's the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Rudolph A. Koncheck of 223 Day Drive. Her class rank is number 1. Carol has been very active during her high school years with many activities. Music, she's been in the 4 years as a choir member, 2 years as choraleer. She's been a cadet choir in the cadet octet. She's the most outstanding junior girl in the a cappella choir. 2 years in a cappella choir. She's treasurer this year. She had a major role in the school operetta Camelot. She's a senior section editor of the yearbook. She's a member of the Senior Advisory Board. She's a member of the Key Club, the Pep Club, and the AFS. 3 years volleyball player, concession stand worker, member of the National Honor Society, Lorain High School delegate last summer to Buckeye Girls State, Lorain High School delegate last summer to the Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Seminar, first place winner in a citywide Voice of Democracy speech contest, the recipient of the Presidential Academic Fitness Award. She plans to attend Toledo University, where she's going to study for a career in pharmacy. Is it any wonder that Carol was selected by her classmates as the girl most likely to succeed? Our third student, Cleve Johnson. Cleve is the son of Mr. Cleve Johnson, Sr. of 911 West 11th Street. Cleve is the president of the senior class. Cleve has been active in many activities. Cleve was in the athletic program. He's 3 years in basketball, 3 years in track, 1 year in cross country, 1 year in football. He's excelled in his track career. He was chosen as the most valuable player and participated in the state high school championship in both his junior and senior years. He's a member of the student council for 2 years. He's a member of the senior advisory board. He's also a member of the Key Club. He's received many offers for track scholarships from several colleges, but at this time he has not made his decision on which one he's going to attend. Is it any wonder that he was selected by his classmates as most popular, best personality, and most active? Cleve Johnson.
Good evening, members of the Board of Education, administrators, teachers of Lorain High School, fellow classmates, parents, and all who join us in this joyous commencement ceremony. We, the graduates of 1985, are joined here today to receive our diplomas, the attainment of our first major goal. It is the reward for 12 years of earnest education. This education reflects success in many areas. For some, it was the completion of a wood project or a final term paper. For some, it was being part of a high school team, club, or squad. For others, it was receiving an award, honor, or special recognition. We each have different reasons for obtaining this goal, but we all hope that our high school experiences have prepared us for our future endeavors. We have learned that through hard work, we can attain any goal. This diploma, however, is not our only goal. Another major goal faces us, our career goal. The time has come when we must choose a profession. Many of us will further our education in order to achieve this success. Some of us will seek immediate employment, and a few of us will live a new experience in the armed forces. Whatever career goal we choose to set, we must work to obtain it. The higher the goal, the harder we must work. Of all the goals, however, the most important is our personal goal. No matter where we stand in reference to our career, we must be satisfied with ourselves. We can survive a lot easier if we have self-pride and dignity about our lives. Along with these qualities, we must also strive to be self-supporting and self-sufficient. As we obtain these qualities, we will be able to help support our families. As we set these life goals, we must realize that they will affect society. For we are society now, and what we do is important. We have been guided through all these years, and now we are on our own. We are the leaders of the future, and we are responsible for improving society. Thus, we must set our goals accordingly. In this, we must also remember that youth is the future of the world. We will be influencing the youth of tomorrow through our actions today. As Americans, we have been taught to be winners and to strive for the best. Since we should never be satisfied, we should always keep setting new goals once we have attained the older ones. Fellow classmates, I would now like to extend my congratulations to you for attaining your first major goal, and I wish you the best of luck in your future goals. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and fellow graduates. Although commencement is now the first page in a new volume of our lives, let us not forget the preceding introduction, our high school career. We need to pause and recognize the individuals who have guided us into being tomorrow's leaders, our administrators and our teachers. Everything in life is only as good as you yourself make it and dream it will be. At Lorain High, we have had many choices toward excellence. Our 1985 accomplishments have included many of our senior athletes involved in various sports activities, meeting the challenge to be the best in the Buckeye Conference, and the spontaneous organizing of a spark chapter of SAD, Students Against Driving Drunk, to which many of our seniors campaigned for the betterment of our society. Although we might be closing many doors of the past here tonight, only to be reopened by memories, our diplomas will be the keys to many new and challenging doors. Our educational document is a celebrated cornerstone on which we will build the rest of our lives. We now possess the basic knowledge of what we want to accomplish and the unequaled wisdom of knowing when and how to use this gift. As the poet Dante Alighieri stated, a great flame follows a tiny spark. This diploma we receive tonight will give us the freedom to choose among immediate employment, the armed services, marriage, or furthering our education. Johann von Goethe once said, "He only earns his freedom in existence who daily conquers them anew." This statement suggests that all of us graduates here tonight must continue to accept challenges or our freedom of choice will diminish. In today's society, we can accept futuristic innovations through perfection of laser technologies and further exploration of space medicine. We now have the acquired skills to reach the goals we only dreamed of before. We are now the catalysts of America. Although we possess the freedom of choice and the freedom of challenge, we must also celebrate the most important freedom of all, the opportunity to be ourselves. Although we all learn the same ideals, it is our individual uniqueness that lets us accept the challenge of leadership and assume responsibility for all our actions. We can now face the obstacles in our lives and overcome any hurdle. Marva Collins stated the dare, "Can you or can't you?" Now with the solid foundation of our high school years behind us, each one of us will answer, "I can." I can choose any career I want, I can accept any challenge, and above all, I can be myself. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow students. If a man has a talent and cannot use it, he has failed. If he has a talent and only uses half of it, he has partly failed. If he has a talent and learns somehow to use the whole of it, he has gloriously succeeded and has won a satisfaction and triumph few men ever know. Success. What is success? In elementary school, success was being the first one picked on the kickball team. In junior high, being able to adjust and making new friends was successful. Now in high school, success is different for everyone. For some, it may be graduating in the top 10%. For others, it may be simply completing all graduation requirements. But success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life, but by the state of mind that one might achieve when he knows that he has worked his hardest in becoming what he is capable of becoming. To be successful, live in the present and think of tomorrow. Let each day's work absorb your entire energies and satisfy your widest ambition. A person is a success who has lived well, laughed often, and loved much, who has gained the respect of intelligent men and the love of children, who has filled his niche and accomplished his task, who leaves the world better than found it. We all have this ability to become a success because success is in the person who wants it. Now that we have succeeded in high school, as represented by this graduation, we have only reached half our potential. The other half lies in our future. We must try to succeed in whatever we choose to do, whether it be college, the armed forces, or the workforce. There's a choice we must make, as Robert Frost points out in his poem, Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you those people who will someday make the difference, the graduating class of 1985.
Mrs. Jensen, as superintendent, I certify that the people listed in tonight's program have met all the requirements as established by the state of Ohio and the Lorain Board of Education and are now certified as graduates of Lorain High School.
Thank you, Mr. Pavick. May I present to our audience the class of 1985. On behalf of the Lorain Board of Education, you are now certified graduates. Will the class please rise? Aren't they a beautiful sight? Thank you, class. You may be seated for a moment. It's not quite the seventh inning stretch. Almost. The Board of Education wishes for me to express our great joy in your coming to this event. It is what we spend our time concerning ourselves for, representing the citizens of the Lorain City Schools. We have concerned ourselves with your education for the past 13 years, primarily with that which is found in books. It is only recently that the board has begun to discuss how we might add to the curriculum some words about values. And I want to share with you 3 small thoughts about values tonight, because you are about to embark upon a great adventure in your own life, and your values may change radically. One of the grand things about being a human being is the ability to change. 3 small thoughts. It's been my pleasure for about the last year and a half to work on behalf and with mentally retarded and developmentally disabled people in this county. And they have taught me some very important lessons, all of which have to do with the value of people, which I hope as you grow and mature and learn more, you will learn are our most valuable resource. The first young man that I'd like to talk about was misdiagnosed. He's the same age as I am. He was misdiagnosed as mentally retarded when really he was just born completely deaf. By the time they learned what his real malady was, it was a sad case, and he's far gone. He is totally dependent upon other people to care for him, but never a day goes by without him saying in sign language, "Thank you." He remembers to thank. So often we who are blessed with so many other things forget that simple act. The next boy I'd like to tell you about was 17 when he was in a very bad automobile accident and lost half of his brain. There's a tin plate in its place. The part of his brain that he lost was what they call the inhibitor. And the net result is he can think he's quite a good machinist, but he cannot inhibit violent actions most of the time. So he will remain in our institution all of his life. It is therefore something of a thrill to see this young man at lunchtime in the workshop, seated beside a young lady who is cerebral palsied, totally unable to move, and feeding her every day in the tenderest fashion possible. Because though half his brain is gone, he has not forgotten to give compassion to others. Perhaps you would like to do as he has done to someone you see who may be in need. And finally, one of my favorites, who is no longer at the workshop because he has such a beautiful love for other people and such a desire to do his very best. Even though his creator didn't give him a great intellect, he works very hard at what he does. And about a year ago, he was placed in private employment. He has done an absolutely superb job, so much so that his boss took him recently on a trip to Cleveland to return an order to the Cleveland Browns. He was introduced to Doug Deacon, and Doug Deacon gave him his jersey, which Joey wore to work the following 2 weeks every day. But Joey is earning his own living, and while his father is ill at the moment and laid off from work, supporting his entire family, because Joey tries his very best to do with what he was given. I think those are three powerful lessons that you might want to ponder sometime. Again, may I say how very happy we are to have you here tonight. And I will ask Mr. Bolish if he will please call the roll.
As we call the roll of graduates, please hold your applause until all names have been read. At the end of the ceremony, I would also remind the audience to remain seated until the class retires from the field. Would the Lorain High School class of 1985 please rise? Crystal Lynn Barnett. Lisa Beth Bartlome. Tabitha Bennett. Marie Bernadette Bodie. Victoria Ann Boone. Dawn Marie Bradbury. Tammy Brock. Ursula Marie Buckner. Bridget Burke. Deborah Jean Butchko. Bridget Lynn Cadell. Valerie Ann Carpenter. Susan M. Carroll. Olga Maria Castillo. Vivian Jean Seja. Christine Marie Klaus. Melissa M. Colby. Tammy Lynn Collins. Audra Burl Colvin. Carol Ann Koncheck. Patricia Ann Chris. Donna Curry. Sylvia Vernell Dawson. Michelle DeBracy. Cheryl A. Dearson. Barbara Donahue. Altrisa Danessa Drummond. Anna Maria Durnell. Susan Marie Durnell. Barbara L. Eads. Kimberly Eddy. Barbara L. Eno. Jill L. Ferguson. Laura Danielle Fish. Renee Marie Fish. Laurie A. Fisher. Teresa Flores. Rosa Lee Gilman. Lisa Jean Gleisner. Michelle Sue Golowinski. Diana Hembry. Laurie S. Henderson. Patricia C. Hensley. Beth K. Hershelman. Jackie Hughes. Carolyn Jasinski. Brenda K. Jeffords. Michelle Z. Johnson. Elizabeth M. Catcher, Kathleen Kelly, Tammy Lynn Killen, Christine Catherine Clamer, Denise Coltis, Nadine Lynette Kudlow, Vanessa Dale Keene, Tina Michelle Liebus, Lori Ann Levan, Patricia Ann Lewis, Milagros Lopez, Laurie Ann Manuel, Barbara Jean Martin, Michelle Mason, Francine Adair Massey, Lori Lynn McInnes, Carol Ann Mead, Wendy Christina Menzel, Tammy Allison Moore, Susan Rochelle Morris, Deborah Muha, Charlene Marie Murphy, Christina Marie Murr, Cheryl Gina Murray, Elizabeth Nazario, Carrie Ann Nickerson, Ann Olgen, Kim Marie O'Neill, Gina Ree Pedresci, Vicki Lynette Pendergrass, Rebecca Perhot, Tony Lynn Piesheimer, Melanie Radanovich, Melanie Ann Reed, Julie Dawn Riley, Raquel Rosario, Sandra Lee Rosier, Nancy Al Sass, Barbara Ann Seymour, Deidre Ann Schuster, Peggy Lee Scrivanik, Betty Snyder, Kimberly Ann Stouder, Ronetta Marlene Stewart, Kimberly Jean Zarek, Joanna Maria Zeckley, Carol S. Taylor, Luz Torres, Susan Marie Van Wagnen, Stephanie Ann Walker, Linda Ann Weber, Cheryl Lynn Williams, Christina Marie Williams, Lisa M. Yantz, Dreama Lee Young, Richard P. Adams, Rafael Augusto, Kenneth R. Baumert Jr., Daniel S. Baumert, Maurice Neil Bennett, Richard Carl Bennington, Dwayne Edward Bloomingdale, Paul Arthur Bodnar, Sasho G. Bogdanov, Lonnie D. Boggs, John Bowers, Thomas Edward Brown, Jr., Charles Scott Bryant, David Kevin Burton, Todd James Butler, Gerald Caruso, Wayne L. Comstock, Jack Cook, Eric Lee Zett, Benjamin Serrano, Benjamin Velez, Brian Zelina, Adam A. DiFilippo, David Aled Zambek, David A. Edriff, Gregory P. Everett, Andrew Wayne Fedarco, Jose Luis Feliciano, Antonio Fernandez, Noe Fernandez, Keith A. Finitzer, David Edward Fisher, Edward Darnell Pfizer, Leonard Craig Fulton, Kenneth W. Freeland, Michael Kenneth Freeman, Scott A. Gordon, Edward A. Grosso, Ronald R. Grebe, James Haggerty, Joel F. Hartman, Earl L. Head, Thomas Daniel Hennis, Brian Michael Walter Herbert, Scott E. Hillier, James Keith Hoagland, John Charles Ivan, Dwayne Edward Gerald, Darwin Thomas Jarrett Jr., Jeffrey David Jenkins, Michael Joseph Johns, Cleve W. Johnson Jr., William E. Kendricks, Thomas E. Killen, Glenn E. King, Michael Stephen Clamer, Louis Frank Cosa, Richard C. Kovacs, Alan Ray Kuhn, Gerald Thomas Kurtz, Alan Justin LaBranche, Gerald Alan Laurenti, Robert A. Lieber, John D. Loy, Douglas Allen Lukes, Christopher John Matos, Gerald Anthony Mazzoni II, Troy Adam Mackay, David Miller, Robert David Miller, Steve William Miller, Kurt Milligan, Edward Richard Moore Jr., Terry James Morris, Darren Morales, Scott Brian Morris, Richard Anthony Ola, Michael John Osco, Dewey Owens, David Edwin Petrosky. Michael Kenneth Pinkerton. James J. Piper. Gerald J. Pitts. Melvin Dwayne Powell. Michael Kenneth Provenza. Russell Edward Pruitt. Andres Ramos. Pedro Juan Ramos. Don Adam Raymond. Jeffrey Edward Reynolds. Jose Ramon Rodriguez. Jack Michael Rosso. Baron Rule. Donald Stephen Savinsky. David Anthony Schaefer. Christoph Schettenhelm. George Schwartz. Lee E. Seitz Jr. Michael David Sherrard. Thomas James Shreve. Michael Anthony Scafida. Patrick Larry Sloan. David John Smith. Stephen Spence. Thomas A. Spraggins. Andrew Joseph Strasser. Timothy Sturgeon. Adam Michael Teets. John Edward Tobakash. Thomas Nelson Toothman. Todd D. Trout. Louis Underwood. David R. Erdo. Stephen B. Vinci. Darrell Watson. Raymond Landon Wedgeworth. Robert Worthy. And Richard A. Ybarra. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 1985.
us pray. Lord God, you have called your servants to ventures of which we cannot see the ending, by paths as yet untrodden, through joys and perils unknown. Give us faith to go out with good courage, not knowing where we go, but only that your hand is leading us and your love supporting us. Amen.
Commencement program for the evening. Thank you for joining us live on Channel 36. Good night.